called the biggest fraud in Wall Street history, federal investigators say famed Wall Street money manager Bernard Madoff ran a scheme that cheated investors out of $50 billion.
He was arrested and charged with securities fraud in what prosecutors say was a scheme that may have swindled clients out of as much as $50 billion.
Hedge fund swindler Samuel Israel. Last week, it appeared he might have killed himself rather than serve a long stretch in prison. But tonight, federal authorities think he staged the whole thing.
9-year-old Eric Stein is bringing home $1 million a month. Stein is the mastermind of one of Nevada's all-time largest investment scams.
I embraced the criminal lifestyle, and I liked it.
Held in Germany, wanted in America. Financier Martin Frankel, who may have committed the biggest fraud in history.
Martin Frankel's story spans the globe, from Wall Street to the Vatican.
You're how old at this point?
22.
And you're a convicted felon?
Yeah.
You'll be serving prison time?
On top of what I've already served, yes.
You owe millions of dollars to several people, investors.
Correct.
How Hakan Yalınca got to this point in his life is the story of a brilliant college kid who engineered a hedge fund fraud so elaborate, so well staged, that even the biggest Wall Street banks believed him.
If you were going to start a Hall of Fame for con men, Barry Minko would have to be one of the first inductees. He was one of the most famous stock swindlers of the 1980s, and certainly the youngest. At age 20, he was the boy wonder of Wall Street, CEO of a $300 million company. At 22, he'd been convicted of 57 counts of fraud and was off to federal prison.
On Sunday, Schrenker, a daredevil pilot whose exploits are chronicled on YouTube, flew in a private plane from Indiana to Florida. Over Alabama, he radioed a phony distress call before parachuting from this plane that would soon crash in a North Florida swamp.
Best way to describe it, right now, he's our own little Bernie Madoff.
Schrenker had plenty of reasons to run. He's currently under investigation in Indiana for insurance fraud, accused of excessively trading clients' investments in order to fatten his fees by hundreds of thousands of dollars. By the time authorities arrived at Schrenker's $4 million home, he'd long since disappeared.
I committed what's believed to be the largest bank fraud and title fraud in the history of the city of Philadelphia.
Over $8 million.
$8.6 million.
Okay, and
boy band promoter turned federal prisoner.
Pearlman sentenced today for defrauding banks and investors out of as much as $300 million. The judge handed down a 25-year prison sentence on the fraud and conspiracy charges, but Pearlman can have a month reduced for each million he pays back.